Hey everyone, this is TB Shores. It's April the 1st, 2016. It's 1:40 p.m. I apologize again for not having gotten a video up sooner. Uh, it's been spring break for my grandchildren, and let's just say that I've been very, very busy, and every time I think I'm going to have time to do something, something pops up. So I'm trying to work in a moment here um, while they're out of the house. So just bear with me. Okay, we're going to recap just a little bit on what we saw in the last couple of videos, where we talked about in Matthew 25:5, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Now, I think one thing that we can pull out of this word tarried is those of us that understand what this is all about, we know that from the time of Christ's death until the time of his coming is the time of grace. I believe the word tarried is very possibly referring to that time. That his time that he's tarrying is the time that he's given, or the time that he's taking to give the opportunity for as many as will to come to salvation. There's several things that really jump out at me here that it's hard to explain as I'm seeing it from a spiritual perspective, and it's hard to explain it in a way that I feel is clear in conveying it. So I'm just going to do the best that I can. But as I said, the word all, it says they all slumbered and slept. I think that when we look at this word tarried as being the time of grace, we can more clearly understand what this all slumbered and slept is talking about. Because during the time of grace, we have Christians all through this time that are asleep at different levels. Now, the wise virgins, of course, are seen to be the most knowledgeable and have, from what we've learned that the Lord has showed us in the scriptures, they are the ones who have been the most diligent to seek that deeper relationship with the Lord. That's why they can go into the marriage. So what we're seeing here is about this slumbered and slept is about what I feel I'm being shown is that it is about there being a limit to what degree we can wake up spiritually within this body, because we are in the flesh, and as we know, there are some things that are not privy to the flesh and blood. We know that flesh and blood cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven, and I think that flesh and blood limits us in other ways as well, as far as our understanding, deeper, higher level understanding spiritually. And I believe that's what this is in reference to. If we think about how all of them had slumbered and slept. Now remember, these were all who knew about who the bridegroom was. The wise and the foolish both knew who the bridegroom was. But there was a level of sleep still within all of them. And if you see this time of tarrying as the time of grace, while the Lord is allowing more to come to him, it's easier to understand what's being said here by all slept and slumbered, because we have people at all different levels of spiritual sleep. And the reason I say sleep rather than awake is that great awakening has yet to take place. And that is what I believe takes place when we see what's going on here in Matthew 25:6. Because we see, remember we talked in the last video about the midnight cry. And the meaning of this word cry, just what is indicated with it. It's about a horrendous event. It is about a very devastating event. And I believe that the Lord has shown me that this is the event that we who understand what it is we're waiting on right now, this is that event. Many of us have an understanding that we are waiting on an event to take place that can be dubbed the shaking, okay? And I had a dream just the other night concerning that. I'm still seeking the Lord as to whether or not I'm to share it. But as far as what I took out of it, it was about everything being removed. Of course, the scripture tells us in Hebrews chapter 12, I forget just which verse, it's about that. Yet once more, he will shake the earth. And that, I can't remember, I hate to just paraphrase scripture, but it is about everything that's made being removed. So the things that are not of the Lord will not stand. Only the things that can stand will stand, and that is things of the Lord, things that we have built up spiritually through seeking the Lord. Okay? So this event that takes place here is about the shaking that's coming. And what I feel the Lord is showing me is that once this event takes place, this level of sleep that all are still in is going to change. And as you see, we learned that slumbered and slept was about different levels of sleep. Slumbered means to nod in sleep or to fall asleep, whereas slept means they are just asleep. So, nodding off is kind of like, I'm kind of awake, I'm dozing off, I'm kind of awake. To fall asleep means you were awake and you fell asleep. And to sleep means you were just asleep all along. But yet, you got to keep in mind that this sleep is not as we look at the saved and the lost. And the lost are asleep. They can't see what they need to see spiritually to accept Christ. This is about a deeper sleep. A different level of sleep that is yet to be awakened. And I will pick up there in the next video. Love you. Bye-bye.